Hi guys, my name is Matti Sulanto and in this video I'm gonna take a photo walk in a bad weather. And I have 3 tips or 3 reasons for you guys why you should do the same sometimes. I also talk a bit about the camera settings I use in these kind of conditions. But before I talk more about the bad weather photography, please consider subscribing to my channel and hit the bell there so you'll get notified whenever I post a new video. And I usually post a new video on Tuesdays and on Fridays. The weather is not extremely bad right now, but it's really gloomy and overcast, and I think it's gonna rain soon. I guess I'm just trying to look for some remainings of the fall colors, maybe the dead leaves on the ground. They look really cool, especially when they get wet. So I'm actually hoping for the rain right now. This looks kind of interesting here. There's some green and yellow and almost red. Let's see if I can make something out of this. I may get something from this. It also looks kind of cool under those trees, so I think I'm gonna also check that out. Okay, we have the same colors here. Green, yellow, and some sort of red. Cool colors, or nice colors, complementary colors, but it's not so easy to make something really nice out of this, but let me try anyways. Alright, there are some mushrooms here. This could work out. Let me try. Turn the camera on first, and yeah. Let's Photoshop a little bit. My first tip is that the bad weather will make you a better photographer because it challenges you and it makes you to look for different or alternative solutions to get that nice or good photo. In my work as a professional photographer, I've had to look for alternative solutions so many times, not necessarily because of the weather, but because of other conditions that have been far from optimal. For example, try shooting a portrait in a small white conference room. It's almost impossible to make any kind of directional light in that kind of space because the light is just bouncing off all the white walls and the ceiling that are so close together. But I also think that all those challenging situations have made me a better photographer after all. Okay, this looks interesting. I like those yellow leaves on top of the scene, then the cool colored rock, and then there are some orange leaves also at the bottom of the scene. So let me see if I can make a picture out of this. I really like this, and I think this is gonna be a keeper, definitely. These leaves on these stairs may make a picture. It's a classic, but it's worth trying every time because it just looks so nice. But before the tip number 2, let me talk about the gear I'm using today. The camera I'm using today is the Lumix G90 with the basic kit lens, and this is a pretty good combination. It's small and light, relatively small and light, that is, and both the lens and the camera body has weather sealing. So if it starts to rain, like I think it does at some point, I'm still covered. But even if you are using a weather sealed camera like this, I still don't recommend you to get your camera wet. I think Panasonic and pretty much every manufacturer do not recommend you to get your camera in direct contact with water. So if you shoot in the rain and you get your camera wet and it starts malfunctioning, don't blame it on me. And I absolutely recommend you to shoot in the rain or in bad weather, but I don't recommend you to ruin your gear while you're doing it. My second tip is that the bad weather makes places look different. So you'll get a fresh look even at the familiar locations, and you may find new angles or completely new photos even in the places where you've been many times before. Because I suspect you are a bit like me, that you don't necessarily go out that often when it's a really bad weather. Wow, look at this bicycle. It looks like it's been here for a while, but it's still locked in place. Let me see if I can get a picture of this. Okay, the background is not working from this angle. Let me try a higher angle and see if this works at all. I don't think this is gonna work. The background is just too bad. Okay, at least I tried, and I think every time you see something that could make a shot, I think it's worth trying. Because at the end, if it doesn't work, it's not like it's a big loss or anything. I think it's more like a missed chance if you don't even try. My tip number 3 in bad light is that because the light is bad to begin with, look for colors and shapes and other types of elements in your picture than the light. Good light is usually the key for any great picture, but if there is no light, no good light, then it makes sense to stick with the colors and other types of elements that you can find. Okay, it finally started raining and the weather really starts turning bad. It's not been really that bad so far, just really overcast and flat light, but now it really started raining. But I think I'm gonna stick around for a few more moments and try to get a few more pictures here. I also promised to tell a bit about my camera settings, but now that I really think of it, they are nothing that special. I'm using aperture priority here, and I'm relying on the great stabilization of my Lumix camera, and I'm not afraid to use rather long exposure times. However, I'm not afraid to crank up the ISO if necessary. I think if I get a bit more noise or grain in my shots, it can only enhance the already gloomy feeling that I get when I shoot in a bad weather. I think there's one more good reason to at least try to shoot in a bad weather, and that's simply that there is no good weather. At least here in Helsinki, Finland, at this time of the year, it can take days or even weeks to see the sun. So it can be a really long wait if you're not willing to even try in a bad weather. Okay, I have some water on my lens already, so I think it's time to head home. Okay, that's it. Time to wrap this up, this bad weather photo walk today. But what about you guys? Do you ever go out and try to make pictures when the weather is not that promising? Please let me know in the comments down below. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.